Hello and welcome to Legend of Grimrock. I'm doing this one for a friend called Faust who wanted to see this. Legend of Grimrock is a very interesting dungeon crawling game that I enjoy very much, but I haven't played in a while. So having a chance to play this game again is not a bad thing. So let us begin. I'm going to be playing on normal. This will not be a hardcore run, this will not be a 100% run, this will just be a literally fun run. And I'm going to create characters. So, I asked around for characters and names. So I will start with my character. I'm going to be playing a Minotaur. A Minotaur who has Fist Fighter, which makes him have +6 attack power when unarmed, and Headhunter, which gives him +3 attack power for each skull carried. Minotaur only, that one. Excuse me. So, we're going to bump Dexterity a bit, up to 10. And then we're going to split points across these. I'm going to take 1 extra point in Strength, because that bumps my attack power up to 11. Next we have Faust. Faust wants to be a mage. The best mages are insectoids, though they have less health and less strength. They have incredible willpower, up to 14. You can only put 6 points into a skill, so if I put 6 points into strength, I cannot put any more. So the higher its base stat is, the better, as this can now go to 20. I'm also going to put 4 points into vitality. He did not specify a magic, so I will pick that. I'm going to give Strong Mind, give him a bit more willpower, and Toughness to give him 15 more health. And he's going to be, at least to start, a fire mage, because he seems like the kind of person who would burn things. No offense, Faust. Next we have a rogue lizard man, picked by my friend Semi. Well, he picked rogue, and very specifically a bow rogue, so we're going to go into missile weapons here. I don't remember if I ever used a bow rogue. I'm pretty sure I used a double dagger rogue, so it'll be an interesting switch. Going to give agile to get that dexterity to 20. Excuse me. And evasiveness to give that evasive boost right there. Name above blue. And next, we're gonna have Conan. He's a warrior. Picked by my friend Predator. We're going to give him aggressive and tough, as I feel that's what Conan the Barbarian would have. And if I remember correctly, Conan used swords, but it's been a while, so swords is what he shall have, which will give him a +1 to strength, because I got him up to the first level ability, which I'll explain once we're in. Let's give him more health here, up to 15, and strength up to 16, to make him a solid all-round fighter. And that shall be the team. 1 mage, insectoid, 1 rogue, lizard man, who's going to be in bows, 1 fighter, who will use swords, and 1 fighter who use unarmed combat. So let us begin. Okay. I haven't played this game in a while, as I said. I don't remember everything. In fact, there's quite a lot I've forgotten. I remember the controls, because I quickly came on the game a couple of days ago, just to, make sure. Ah, here it is. But I do remember this secret. One of the few things I remember. There's just a couple of items in here, and this ominous Cthulian statue. So let us have a look here. Evasion. Well, we'll give that to our ever-trustworthy rogue. So, as you see, we have skills. Each class has different skills, but they all share the same skills, so a warrior will always have these 6. A mage will always have these 6, and a rogue will always have... rogue, please. Rogue will always have these 6. Putting points into them unlocks different things. Points go up to 50, and at certain intervals, you will get bonuses. So for missile weapons at 4 skill points, I will get +1 dexterity. At 8, 5 energy, and at 12, quick shot, which allows me to fire more repeatedly. Swords, you get special sword attacks that will sometimes activate. Slash, thrust, flurry of slashes, things like that. And just, you know, kind of the same thing across all of the weapon ones. At certain intervals you will gain a new special attack that will sometimes go off almost like a critical strike. And do some extra damage for you, or do a double attack or something like that. Armor makes there's no penalties from light armor and heavy. You'll find that there are things like evasion droppers and other things like that that can be removed from heavy armors and things like that. Athletics, just upgrades, just pure upgrades. You eat less, you have more strength and vitality and health and dexterity, carrying weight, the whole piece. This is just an all-round good thing for warriors to have. There are assassination tricks for backstabbing with rogues, daggers, dodging, which works a bit like athletics but for rogues, increases evasion a lot and health. Then there's throwing weapons, which works like the rest, and then there's magic. Now magic's quite interesting because can I cast magic? Yes, here we go. So you'll see down here, to cast magic I have these 9 runes that I can turn on and off. And if I say don't know a spell, just fizzles, eats your mana. Horrible little thing. Not skilled enough to successfully cast the spell, so that was actually a spell. Which is not really surprising, because from what I remember, there are 4 elemental markers. I believe it's the ones around the corner here, or in the cardinal directions. And then the rest of them activate the spell. So, for fire magic, we can learn the base level spell, but we don't know it. We can find a scroll that will tell us the runes, and then we will be able to fire it. Or if we know it, we can just activate it now and it will say we've learnt the spell. There's 4 magical schools: air, earth, fire, and ice. Each of them gets different powers, of course. And they also give you resistances to those elements as you go up the tree. Spellcraft has a couple of its own spells. I think these are considered arcane spells. As you see, there's only 2. But what this is useful for is making you cast spells faster and just increasing your willpower and energy. And staff defense is if you want to be some sort of badass monk and just use a staff to fight. But anyway, I think that's enough explaining for now. Let us get into the world. So in this game you can sidestep and turn. Sidestepping is very important. It's one of the earliest things you will learn and one of the most important. So you'll have things on this that says, you know, choose your fate, perish in this cell, or pick up the torches in this case. But these can get more cryptic later, especially when it's offering you secrets. You know, like, stand in the shadow lit by the light or something like that, and you're like, what? What does that mean? And then once you find out what that means, you can open secrets. But, yes. So, you would have noticed I pushed a switch over there on the wall. That's, hidden switch. Those tend to open secrets. I'm pretty sure they always open secrets, actually. Because they're very hard to see. The little blips on the wall, slight indentations, that when you first start playing are very hard to see, but once you start playing for a while, your eyes just get used to them. So I'll be looking around a lot like this. I'll try not to just rub my face against the walls, but I don't remember where all the secrets are, so I'm just trying to play smart. Ah, we have some tunics here. And peasant breeches. They threw us in with no clothes, the swines. We're just walking around all naked. But that's okay, because somebody just decided to strip down. And our first weapon. So, as you see up here, this is a mace. 12 attack power. Speed 10. Speed 10 is terrible, if I make him swing here. Oops. It eats a bit of his energy bar. And also takes forever to come back. Also, it gives him -5 accuracy while using, but it's very, very powerful. I'm gonna pick up loads of these torches, just in case. Because if I take off this torch, as you see, it's bloody dark. So we want to make sure we have a nice amount of torches on hand, because I think they burn out. Ah! A weapon. A true weapon. A rock. Well, that was easy enough. Oh. So, pressure plates. Pretty standard. Put a thing on a pressure plate is now pushed. Nothing particularly special about that, but you know. Obviously that will come into more effect later, as this is just teaching. And a key. Obviously, keys open things. Locks in this game are incredibly obvious. You'll never run around going, where do I put this key? Unless, of course, you actually have no idea where to put the key. If you've been past a door that needs a key, you will know. Whether it will be the right key, you won't. So this is one of the ones that needs a key, as you can see. It's incredibly obvious. The other ones have them on the walls. Those tend to open gates. Did I take this torch? Apparently. Sometimes there's torch secrets, so it's worth trying to remember where you pull the torch off. See, as here, a lock on a wall. I'm just going to do a quick savey. This game can be very kind at the beginning and then very cruel. Loose rock, I imagine. Yes, here we go. So this is what a secret button looks like in the early game. As you see, it's this slight cut on the wall. And there's the key we need. So, as you see, they kind of catch you off because there's a secret at the beginning of the game that you have to turn around and sidestep to see. And you can easily miss it. But they only teach you about that stuff later. Do we have enough torches for now? Yes, we've got loads of torches. Alas! An enemy sees us, sort of. He's kind of just staring at me, looking like he wants to be my friend. Let's go talk to him. As you see, we can sidestep and backstep attacks, and they will move to attack us. But we can also attack them and do 34 damage. Now the problem is our mage isn't very good right now, for our mage has no weapon. That's okay, because that horrible snail exploded into magical dust, as I would expect. And lo and behold, we have gear and a knife. And who doesn't enjoy a knife and some leather boots? I believe that's everything over here. Yes. So, let's just see. Yes, this is just pure protection right now. We're not really getting gear classes as of yet. This is kind of mage gear. It's just usable by whoever. And here we have a switch. What's nice about this game is a lot of it is self-explanatory. A switch makes things happen. A keyhole needs a key, etc., etc. Throwing knives. Now, we're not particular for throwing weapons, but I will show one off here. There we go. Once the throwing weapon hits something, you can walk over and pick it back up again. Figuring you didn't throw it down a hole you'd rather not go down. But we're going to take just a standard knife, since one throwing knife is kind of useless. Oh yes, he can't reach with that knife because he's on the back line. I completely forgot that. Silly me. That will change later. Ah, what is this we found? Snail slices. Yes, this is food. Delicious. Being hungry can hurt you. It will stop your regeneration and things like that, and can also give penalties to your stats. So you want to make sure you got food, and this can become a problem later when you're fighting just an army of skeletons and you have to kind of hope food drops. Another key is needed here, so we better go find it, while staring at all of the walls. What? A hole in the ground? Something needs to fly to close that pit. Well, let's have a look around, because that just sounds like a very hard puzzle. And what could it possibly mean? Ah. Food. And a rock. So we have a map here, as you can see. It does it tile-based, which is very nice and very easy to read. So just, you know, it shows you doors, it shows you traps, shows you where you haven't stood, if you're a map completionist, which I sometimes am, but I'm not going to be as much, especially when I know things aren't there. Just having a good look at these walls. This is a chunk of the gameplay. I kid you not. It may look a bit lame, but when you find secrets, you will be over the moon. And now we have a loincloth and sandals. And a baked maggot, okay? Please get excited for baked maggot. It's nutritious, I hear. So, loincloth drops your willpower, but gives you +1 attack, but you get no defense. But that's okay, because we're an incredibly violent Minotaur. I should give these rocks to you. And this is basically the rule. You just move gear down the list. Just give you a rock since that knife is useless to you. Well, it seems we're stuck. Clearly what we need to do is jump this pit. What? That didn't work? Curses. Foiled again. I can't fly? Ugh. Just so many secrets being learned. I'm just gonna throw this rock in anger. Oh. Good. So, I'll take that key. We regenerate health as we walk around. We also regenerate energy as we walk around. So there's no harm. Well, there is harm. But the harm will go away with time. What a horrifying face. What was that noise? Well, it's probably unimportant. I'll try not to stare at the walls too much. It might mean I miss secrets and extra stuff, but you know. What in the Shagahard is that? Yes, mushroom people. Horrible monstrosities of science. Look at him with his gangly limbs, gangling about. Pesses. So what you want to do is kind of wait for your stuff to come back. Because as you see, it goes on cooldown. And they also have to turn when they go in here. They don't. Some enemies sidestep. Most will turn, walk down a corridor, and then turn again. Now, I don't remember if these ones do it, and I just got a crit there, in case you missed it. But, some of these ones, maybe perhaps later, they can just put poison clouds down. Like the horrible, horrible creatures they are. There's a lot of these. As you see, I can't step onto a square where an enemy is moving. And an enemy can't step onto a square I'm moving onto. But it does leave them open, because they have to move onto it, which gives you a chance to attack them while they're getting prepared. And this is a lot of the game, because as you see, I've taken a lot of damage. Part of that was jumping down a hole, I'll admit, but they hit relatively hard, and they have quite a chunk of health. They do not mess around. Oh, that looks important. So, a lot of this game can be, lose appeal on this, because a lot of people just want to hit things. They don't want to move around and have to put in runes for spells and throw rocks. But personally, I very much like this. I like it a lot. You don't want to tank it because you'll get smoked. And at the same time, you don't want to accidentally backstep into an open area filled with enemies, because then you will, as I said, get smoked. Huh. Well, we can't get in there, but that looks important. And we had to kill a lot of horrible, horrible monstrosities to get to it, so it must be good. Now, if I remember correctly, there is, I believe, potion making in this game. Now, I don't have any potion pots, so that's not going to happen. But, well, not right now. Got it. And a switch. This is another type of switch. As you can see, this one's a bit more obvious. But, you don't look a gift dagger in the mouth. So let's just see what we have here. We got a nice fancy dagger compared to that butter knife we got before. Oh, I was wrong. It's actually higher the better, but 10 is low on speed. Ah, yes. As you see, the torch is dying, and now the lighting effects have changed. It's a very, very pretty game. It's really good looking. Heal my sight, he says. Well, there you go. Perfect. You, no? Can't just live with one eye? Fine. I suppose we'll have to find another one. So yes, I'll try not to rub my face against the wall too much, but it's kind of a habit. This slug, or snail, sorry, sitting on that switch. That switch I don't know what do. Oh, speaking of snails. The Grand Menace has arrived. Hit it with a rock. There's also hit stun in this game. If you have a fast enough team and enough strikes, you can actually kind of stun lock an enemy into dust. If nothing else, it is quite amusing. But hard to happen, especially if you miss a hit. And it's even harder to happen. It's probably bad English, that. But, it's hard to make it happen at the early game. Another loincloth. And a scroll of fire burst. So let's have a look at this then. Just push the top one. Nice and easy. We'll try it out on the next enemy we find. Let's preload the spell. So we can just load a spell whenever we want. Is that a thing on the ground? That's fine. and it will just fire when we hit this lovely button over here. It seems we freed it. Let's try the spell out. As you can see, these things can attack pretty fast. And now this is loading spells on the fly. Now, I found out that's a close range spell only, so we better try to only use that at close range. Ah, but it's closed again, darn. Well, let's have a looky-see over here. Oh. Well, a lot of nothing. But we are no coward. For a coward would say, a hole in the ground? No, that is scary. But we say, a hole in the ground? I better throw myself down that. In search of treasure. Just like a real hero would. Does anyone need food? Sustenance, if you will. Not as of yet. Well, anyway. Ow. Ah, snail! Trying to sneak up on me, no doubt. As you see, a lot of magic does not stun them, especially when they're in an attack animation. And a hat. We now have almost full attire. Ooh. And a rock. You can't stop it. But there's stuff over there. And a switch. Curses. Foiled again. What? Where are we? Oh. Let's see what we have, So there's nothing over here. And we've done what's over there. So let's go through here. Yeah, so this game kind of sometimes just wants you to jump down holes in the ground in hopes of finding fun things. Now obviously you won't always find fun things. Sometimes you'll find horrible, horrible things that just want to murder you. But rock, get in my inventory, you. Aha! And a switch. And a switch? What the? Curses! Oh, good. I'm seeing a recurring pattern here. I'm just gonna take this back, because you didn't earn my rock. As you see, this is now dying out horrifically. And we can't have that. We need to see. So, bam, torch. Now it's super bright again. I actually really like the lighting effects of the low torch and the dying torch. Just because it looks nice. It's a very nice looking game, and I will endlessly harp on that. What the? I actually don't remember this guy. Well, I mean, I remember the skeletons, because they become quite prolific, but, I don't remember the one standing there. Out of all of my other fake surprise, this one's genuine. And I'm gonna play it like a real hero. Woof. And we've achieved ourselves a shield and a spear. So, we've earned 4 skill points for leveling up, as well as, I believe, an increase in our health, our energy, and I believe that's it. As you see, here's our experience points. So, we're going to put 2 points into athletics, and we're going to put 2 points into unarmed in preparation. Now, Conan is more of a two-handed weapon guy, but since we don't have two-handed, well, actually I suppose we do, but this is a reach weapon. So, I actually want to give it to him even though he's not very good with those kind of weapons, just because he has high accuracy, innately, for being what he is. I'm surprised nobody else leveled. Nah, almost there. Just a quick look at these walls. They're very interesting walls. An ominous blue glow. Oh, a switch. foiled again. Well, we can't go through there. A scroll. Great rewards can be found behind these doors. To gain access, look carefully for small details and use your wits. Another switch. Oh. Well then, we did it. And we have our first mage item. And a scroll. This magical staff is powerful. It's a powerful weapon when wielded by a potent mage. So we need spellcraft to carry wands. Now this one isn't the best, but I will put a spellcraft point in, because it only gives 5 energies. But later it can give willpower and boosts to damage and all sorts of crazy nonsense. Ah, blue low. These ones are 2-part, but I think the scroll will tell us. Touch to regain health and restore life. These will recover after a certain time. It also saves your game for you, and revives anybody who's died. Now, as you can see, we're kind of getting to the end of the tutorial area, as they're now just showing us stuff, and we're about to descend a level. So that's how you do Poison Cloud, if you have Earth Magic. Now, just to show, you cannot cast a spell. Fumbled. So let's have a look at the map. Yep, that's pretty much cleared up. There's maybe some secrets we missed, I won't know. Down we go. But I think we'll have a quick look here, just to make sure we're not going to get horrifically mauled. And also, we're going to pull the switch, because now we'll find the place where the teleporter was. And there's nothing here now. But if we go up a level and jump down that hole, we'll be able to just come in here. And this is just in case you didn't feel like jumping down that hole, so you could get that gear that's here. But anyway, I think I'll end this episode here, because we did one level, and you got an understanding of how the game works, and the kind of enemies and tactics we'll be using. So I think that's a good start. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.